I gotta tell you, for those of you who don't know me, if you're into absolutely meaningless trivia, I was in fact a Libertarian primary candidate for President of the United States in the last like 900 other people. Where's my beautiful wife, Dawn? Dawn, stand up if you're not already.
Dawn!
You can't tell when she's standing. She's not even 5 feet tall. But she's amazing. We were on the road for a year, 47 states, 51,000 miles, like 25 libertarian conventions. And we ended up, because of COVID, we ended up landing in Sequim, Washington, where we live in a 100-year-old log cabin. And we love Washington. So, but I have to tell you, I believe there is an alternate universe where libertarians start things on time. The only thing is, we're the cool ones. All right? So, I've got this script, and being a libertarian, I will stick strictly to my script because I believe in obeying all the rules. But I will read this. So Dan Driscoll is our first speaker tonight. Dan owns Oysterville Sea Farms in Pacific County, Washington, where he spent years fighting the county. And this is an amazing story. Years fighting the county on land use and licensing, and won. Dan, there we go. Do that again. Come on, I'm not gonna move on until you really give that what it's due. Okay. Dan very nearly won its race in 2020 for Pacific County Board of Commissioners, running as a Libertarian. Dan, get up here.
So I'm afraid of microphones, so we'll see how this goes. And I'm very nervous. So what I think is great is a person that knows the least about the Libertarian Party is talking right now. I want to talk a lot about my situation and what led me here tonight. And it actually is a unique situation that has become more or less the norm in the United States over the last 10 years. But I want to talk just a little bit about me running for county commissioner. My opponent, who is now serving his third term as the banner holder of the Democratic Party for Pacific County, in my opinion, is an unethical man. I ran against him to give the people of the county an alternative. The majority of the county voted for me, but I lost in the county seat in the adjoining county big time, like 60 to 40%. And that was enough to give him about 300 votes so that he is now serving his third term as commissioner. And basically, there hasn't been a change, a major change in the county culture since the county decided to unlawfully interfere with my business. I was asked, and I didn't, and just like the speech, I did not plan a speech tonight. I thought I would approach a speech just like I approached my campaign. I would wing it. Which I don't advise. I'm against winging it, but here I am. The reason why I did that for my campaign was I didn't decide until a few days before when I saw that he was going to run unopposed. And I wasn't going to let that happen. And I was very, very fortunate to have some highly skilled people come and help me out. And if we'd gotten 300 more votes, I'd be a county commissioner right now. So it was a fun, interesting race. I only met one libertarian the whole time I was running, and that was Michael Pickens, who drove all the way from Spokane. Danielle, I apologize, I meant two. They drove all the way from Spokane, and Michael gave me so much support. I felt like I already knew Michael because we communicated via Zoom and over the phone, repeatedly. during the campaign. So I don't really know any libertarians. This is my first time meeting other libertarians. And the way I became a libertarian, and by the way, you guys won. 100 years ago, drinking pure vodka like this, or smoking a joint or having an edible, completely illegal. 2020, it became essential. So you won. And we need to keep winning. But when I was filing, there's this thing where it says party preference. And I'm one of those people, I believe you're in or you're out. And I wanted to keep my soul and my spirit while I was running and feel good about the campaign, regardless of how the campaign turned out. And ultimately I lost because of that. Maybe if I had compromised myself more, I would have won, or maybe I would have lost by more. You second guess yourself. But I'd seen so many people that I knew exactly what their political allegiance was, and I'd see them going to parties, and they'd run as independents, or they'd run as Republicans or Democrats, and they did that just because they wanted to get elected. And there was something about being a libertarian that always appealed to me. And I just hit libertarian on there. And the next thing I know, I'm running for county commissioner, and people are like throwing kryptonite at me. Of course, the kryptonite is like, I know you hate roads. You get elected, we're not gonna have any roads. I'm like, what are you talking about? I go places on roads. And then it ended up that the county road crew was actually the county employees that supported me the most, because they see the corruption and the waste in the county more than anybody else. So I did that, and it wasn't really until people started lying about me, defaming me, lying about me to assassinate my character, which shows I was actually doing really well. So, in support of my opponent. And one of the things that they would hone in on is what other libertarians believed, and how this, basically the whole world was going to fall apart if I got elected. Then I decided to join the Libertarian Party. So I still have, so happy to be here at the golden anniversary of Washington State's, the convention for Washington State's Libertarian Party. So I think there were 178 people, myself was one of them, that voted for Joe Jorgensen during the last election. So it's a start. I didn't meet any of them. It sure would have been nice to do that, because I think it's a Douglas MacArthur quote, there's no substitute for victory. And I did run to win. Everything I did, I was doing to try to win. And because of COVID and because of where we were, I did not go door to door. And also because of where I was still fighting for my life to keep my business. And I made running the business a priority over running for office. I have sold my business, which is a good thing. It never would have happened if it wasn't for the county interference. The people that bought the business, I think, are gonna do everything that we did with the business, and hopefully, and actually, I should say hopefully, I'm certain they're gonna take it to places I couldn't even imagine. One of my mottos is don't put out negative energy trying to hurt people, because that energy can actually help them. And there were forces in the county that have and all are still trying to destroy me. I mean, it sounds, and I gotta tell you, when I tell my story about what happened with me in the county government, to this day, I sound crazy to myself. So if I sound crazy to you, just understand, I agree with you. The sad thing is that they're in court. I have been victorious on all fronts every time I've gone to court with the county. Every time. So, in my opinion, our court system works. Our press, not so much. The county government, obviously not. So I want to shift the conversation to what should be called the Pacific County issue. Most people call it the Oysterville Sea Farms issue. It began without warning, without investigation, without hearing or right to appeal. And most the counties describe it as a family problem because it began with a complaint that they received from my estranged uncle who formerly owned the property that I have. And his complaint was a nonsensical complaint, but the gist of it was that everything that the county had ever approved and had knowledge of my business doing, and you gotta remember, I have a business that I've been running since 1991. My dad had been running since 1973. It was based on family property that had been in my family since 1940. And we've been doing sustainable aquaculture since 1933. There's been a lot of regional press on it. Northwest Back Road, Sunset Magazine, Coastal Living all did articles on it. So it wasn't like this secret brand new business. But my uncle's allegation basically was that everything we were doing was illegal. And everybody's free here to make a complaint if they want, make an allegation. And where the rule of law prevails, people follow due process and investigate it. That's not what happened in Pacific County. What they did is they took untrue, thus unproven allegations and put them like that in the basis for all interaction with my business for 7 years. And every time we went to court and proved in a due process venue that these allegations were untrue, they just went on to the next court. And then they didn't say it publicly, but in the Babcock was, they were just trying to wear me down. And I'll just give you some of the lowlights. I'll tell you, we're all unique people. And I don't know what's unique about everyone here. I haven't met y'all, but the thing that's truly unique about me is I believe I'm the only person in human history that's been given a ticket for selling non-grandfathered items. Which, there's no law about grandfathered or non-grandfathered items. I just happen to live in the county that was silly enough to just make stuff up. But they did write me a ticket for that. They ticketed me for selling pasta because they said pasta wasn't seafood related. They said that we couldn't sell water at my business because bottled water wasn't water dependent. They worked with our competitors to make allowed and not allowed item lists for my business and my business only. They tried to apply rules for a district that no part of Oysterville is on Oysterville Sea Farms. I could just go on and on like that, and it's easy to prove these things are untrue when you finally get a venue where you can prove it, but it's expensive as hell. And to this day, the county government has done nothing to compensate me or the damage they caused. So I would like the whole story to be told, and I would like to be compensated for the damages, and I have a couple of open lawsuits against the county. One of which is a public records complaint. And they just a few things that the county did in regards to public records. First of all, the response when I said, well, you guys knew about this business. Why are you claiming that I'm doing something illegal? They said, no, we didn't know anything about you doing non-seafood until we received a complaint. Well, having been forced, and this wasn't my idea, in 1996, the county decided that we were a deli and they required us to get a food establishment license from the county. So we spent 2 years, refurbishing the facilities, getting the license, got investigated, or inspected is the word. I guess that shows I really am a libertarian. It was inspection, but it felt like an investigation. But twice a year they come and inspect it, and sometimes more. And I had building permits, shoreline exemptions. I had to do engineering plans for, remodels of the building. And all these are public documents. The county denied they had any knowledge of this. So I made public record requests. Based on information and belief, they purposely responded inappropriately to the request with the intent to harm. In other words, they wanted to protect their position. And I will say that everything Pacific County did to me was part of a civil conspiracy. So this is my story. I just want to bring up a couple more lowlights to my story and then bring it into the more general thing where this started 10 years ago and how it's happening more and more everywhere now. But in the public records case, they, in addition to withholding, materially altering, and destroying records, they are to this day making the claim that they can hold on to records because a judge that heard one of the cases is their client. They're using an exception saying that it's a client attorney work product. So any county that claims that a judge hearing an appeal as their client is corrupt to the core. And I like, of course, if I got elected, I would have tried to change that. So I'll be working on trying to change that through litigation. There are a lot of factors to this. Like I said, there should be a book or at least a good feature article on it. But what happened to me seemed unique at the time. And then COVID hit. And then I can't really articulate this, but it seems that the people we elect, I don't know why they're even running for office. It's as if they don't want to do their job once they get elected. And maybe in small, and I don't want to disparage everybody that's elected office. There's people that I like and admire that hold elected office, but I'm just talking about the worst example where someone's either in to do influence peddling or maybe even worse, just ride the clock. Add to their retirement they already have. Go along with the consensus that's already there. And do as little as possible. And then what happens is people that aren't elected actually start running the government. And you have people that aren't qualified to make decisions, making decisions and running the government. And everybody suffers. And I'm running out of time here, which is probably lucky for all of you. But and I'll get it right to something that all libertarians should either be happy or sad about. This analogy, imagine if we were building roads and we're building bridges and we're doing it without engineers. We have decisions being made by government repeatedly by people that aren't qualified to make them and don't have the best interests of the people they serve in mind. So, where's all trades at?
Amazing story there. You really need to find out more about that. Before we go on, this is your opportunity to dig down deep and support your party, right?
Yes. Let's hear it for Dan Driscoll, the next governor of Washington. All right, Cooper, this is my lovely assistant Casey, and we're going to be auctioning off some cool stuff. Why? Because every political party needs money. It's true. Wish we could work without money, but we've got some great items up for bid. So we're going to just do it real simple. If you want it, raise your hand. We'll list the price, and then if people want to bid on it, we can bid on it. And this will just be for a few minutes. Our first item is a Mariners jacket. Who here likes the Mariners? Well, they'll win. You watch. If you wear this jacket, they will win. This is a really nice, sweet jacket. It's a zipper jacket. We've got sizes small to 2X. Do we have a bid of $20? $20, $20. Anybody, $20, $20 right here. $20. We have a bid for 25, 25. Any bid for 25 for the jacket? Going once, going twice. Oh, ow. All right, don't forget to pay the lady. What size do you use? Sorry. We'll get you one from outside. So just write it down here. Next item up for bid. We have lovely backpacks. We have Seahawks. And we have a Huskies backpack. Don't worry, we got WSU stuff too. We have a starting bid for the Seahawks backpack. $10, $10. Do we have a second bid? $15, $15 over here. Do we have a third bid? Third bid, $20, $20. $20 over there. Do we have a bid for 25 for the Seahawks bag? 25 over there. Do we have a bid for 30? $30, $30, $30. Going once. Yes, we take Venmo. $30, $30. Do we have a bid for 35? 35, 35, 35, 35, 35. 35, 35 over there. Do we have a bid for 40, 40, 40, 40, 40? 36, now we got, you want to do 36, all right, 36, 40, 40. Bid for 40. $40, $40, $40, $40, $40. Do we have a bid for 45? $45, $45 over here. Do we have a bid for 50? $50, $50, $50, $50. Going once, going twice. Okay, $55, $55. Do we have a bid for $55? Going once, going twice. $50 sold to the gentleman in the white. Thank you, sir. And take the names and compliment them. $50 to the gentleman in the white. Huskies, Huskies backpack. Do we have a bid for the Huskies backpack? What's that? No, you got to do $10. $10. No? $10. Huskies backpack. This is a nice backpack, guys. Huskies backpack. This helps support the local party. Good bid for $10, $10, $10. Anybody? Come on, this is worth $10, guys. All day, every day. No bids? No bids for $10? $10, $10. We have bid for 15. $15, $15, $15. We have bid for 20. We have bid for $20. Uh-oh. $20, $20 over here. Do we have bid for 25, 25, 25? Going once, going twice. So, the young lady over here. We have a camp stove. Oh, we got some odd items here. It's got a double burner. We have bid for $15. $15. Camp stove, it's camping season, guys. $15. 20. That's way over here. We have 25, 25, 25. It's electric. $20. You have bid for 20, right? You have bid for 25, 25, 25. We have bid for 25. Nobody? Going once, going twice. Sold. $20. Stacy, 20 over here. Give the money to Casey right over. Make sure you pay it later. Make sure we get paid. Who here misses Comic-Cons? Anybody love Comic-Cons? We love Comic-Con. We have items that you would normally find at Comic-Con, but because of COVID, we have a Comic-Con. So we're giving away pictures. We got some let's see what we got.
Okay, if you're talking right now, we're going to take that as a bid.
Uh-oh. We're almost done, folks. Thank you for helping out with the auction. We have collector's plates. We're gonna do 3 of these plates, starting bid $20. We have a bid for $20. $20 over here, $20. We have a bid for $25, $25, $25. We have a bid $30, $30 over here, $30. We have a bid for $35, $35, $35. We have a bid for $35, $35, $35. We got a bunch of different ones too. We even have Wonder Woman. Yes. The Hulk, Batman. We have a bunch of different ones over here. We have a bid for $35, $35, $35. Going once, going, you're already at 30, unless you want to do 35. Okay. Go once, going twice. Preston, it is sold to you. Come on up, grab 3 of them. And we'll do one more prize. One more prize. Who here likes cannabis? Is there, I can't imagine anybody here using it, right? I mean, this is just everything for them. So these are, what are these exactly?
It keeps your weed from going dry. I have the same one at home. I got it from him like a year ago.
It's
all work really hard for the party. And your support of your party through auctions, through paying for, the taxes that they charge you to attend an event like this, all of that kind of stuff. Your support for the party helps those people to continue to do what they're doing. But I want to introduce to you now one of the hardest working people in the Libertarian Party. And it just happens that she leads the party in the very county where I was born. So it's near and dear to my heart. I met her when we were at the California convention 2 years ago now, right? Has it been that long? Oh my God. Wow. Anyway, let me read this. Working in debt litigation and eviction defense for many years, Angela McArdle saw how our justice system is not just broken, but designed to fail. She currently serves as the chair of the Libertarian Party of Los Angeles County and is a two-time candidate for California's 34th Congressional District. I want to introduce to you one of the hardest working, one of the great people in our party, and just a lot of fun to know. Angela.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Forgive me for being a little cringy and bringing my laptop up here. I have been working on drafting this affiliate. This thing, I don't know if you guys have heard that National had this contest for affiliate in a box and no one knew what they were talking about. So I thought I'll draft an affiliate building program, and I didn't get it in time because I do 5,000 things in about 24 hours. But anyway, I thought I would read to you guys from some of it. You know, I haven't worked in debt litigation or anything like that in over 10 years. I have been doing some constitutional law regarding the lockdowns in the past year. It's really wild, right? Did you guys know? So not only am I defending, I'm helping businesses sue the government, but I'm defending businesses that are being sued by the government. And people don't usually think of that. The government actually sues people. It's really frightening. Anyway, California is a canary in the coal mine. That's why I always wear yellow. And it's really bad. And it looks like it's sort of trying to creep up into your beautiful state here. And I want to caution you lovingly, don't let it happen. Don't let California creep in. Don't let all my communist neighbors move up in your neighborhood. So let's talk about what happened last year. The last year or so, I think, is a better example than anything else in our lifetime of what kind of horror is unleashed upon the world when society abandons the value of individualism. People lost their jobs, their family businesses, their savings, children's college funds. Suicide, alcoholism, and domestic violence rates soared across the nation. Civil liberties all but disappeared. Maybe some of us lost our self-respect by going along with things that we don't agree with. People gave into tyranny for the sake of the greater good, to save society, to save you, whether you like it or not, whether it helped or not, whether it hurt or not. And there was so much suffering, but who suffered? Who suffered really? It's the individual who suffers, ultimately. The group does not suffer. What a wild time we live in. Identity politics have been pushed on us with extra intensity during the last year. I find that very interesting. Special interest groups lament that they've been mistreated and oppressed, while practically the whole country was placed on some level of house arrest. There was no special privilege for lockdowns, unless you're a bureaucrat, right? Based on race, gender, or skin color. Why do people overlook that? Why do they elevate the perceived suffering of group identities while overlooking the obvious? That individuals are the people who make up a group that suffer. It's individual people. And that's why individual rights are paramount. It's why the reality of the individual must never be compromised or abandoned. It's why the individual must be taken seriously if human suffering is to be taken seriously. I'll tell you something, libertarians who are afraid to speak out, they're afraid to speak out against the lockdowns. I think they're afraid to confront themselves. They don't feel confident as libertarians. They don't feel confident about talking about individualism with non-libertarians. I think it's a good litmus test to see who's serious about the movement. Can you talk about the intrinsic precious value of the individual in front of your socialist or leftist friends? Individualism is something to be cherished. It's such a unique concept, and it's taken us thousands of years to get it right. So be proud of it. Be proud of it. And be brave. Not everyone is brave. How do you become brave? You need to confront three things. You need to confront yourself. You need to confront your surroundings. You can think of that as your affiliate, your state, or your national party, your surroundings, your world. And then you need to confront the world at large. Many people never get to the point of confronting themselves because it seems just too unbearable. And this is why they struggle to affect meaningful change in the world, or to do it without wrecking things around them. Everyone knows that human wrecking ball. People feel this crushing weight to fix something. And so they go out into the world and create chaos. And what they really need to do is fix themselves, start inward. And the best way to confront yourself is to rip that Band-Aid off quickly. No one is perfect. And there are no perfect libertarians, which we all like to remind ourselves because we all think we're the only true libertarian. You already know what's wrong with yourself internally, but sometimes we're too afraid to articulate it. You're afraid to articulate it in your head or say it out loud. My advice is just get it over with as quickly as possible. Just say it out loud. Maybe you're fearful, maybe you're in debt, maybe you're disorganized, hopelessly disorganized. But you know what? Maybe you're pretty good at data analytics and IT. You know, we're sort of close to Silicon Valley. You're very well read on libertarian philosophy, and some days you're probably a pretty generous person. Confronting the things that are wrong with you or the party isn't just about pointing out everything that's wrong. It's like a SWOT analysis. You want to assess your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. And I'm going to relate this back to why it matters to the LP. So how do you become brave? Start by working on one thing at a time. Maybe you have authoritarian neocon family members who praise the drug war and scream about tyrannical foreign policy all day long. And every time you hear it, you just grind your teeth, but you never say anything, even though you're a very articulate messenger. Well, maybe you can start by piping up, maybe respectfully. Put some of that articulate messaging out there into the world, into your immediate surroundings. You know, well, actually, that's our favorite phrase. Well, actually, Mom and Dad, I think the drug war has failed and it's torn families apart. I know you think the family unit is really important and you hate welfare entitlements. So maybe you should reconsider your position on the drug war. Tackle these things one thing at a time. It'll help to make you brave because there's a lot worse things to face out in the world than disagreements over politics with your family. You need brave people in the Libertarian Party. You need brave leaders. Well, what does the LP look like if no one in leadership is brave? It looks like an organization that's afraid to speak out against the worst violations of our civil liberties in the last 100 years. That's what it looks like. And that's why I spoke out against the mismanagement of National's messaging and announced my candidacy for the chair race so early. We need to rip the Band-Aid off quickly. What does it mean when an organization whose statement of principles says, we reject the cult of the omnipotent state? What does it mean when they're unwilling to speak out against the state? What does it mean if an organization is willing to speak out or act on its very stated purpose? The reason it's good to work on yourself first before you go and you tackle a county, state, or national organization is because organizations need to be made up of principled, brave people. You're better situated to defend the principles of freedom on a state or national level when you can able to defend them on your own personal freedom. You need to defend it on your own ground first. Washington is really nice. You probably don't have all the messaging problems here in Washington. Oh, come on now. There's no perfect libertarian. But you do have the same tyrannical government problems. I know you do.
Fucking.
See, this room seems pretty full of brilliant people. We need to take this spark and spread it across the country like wildfire. That's what Washington needs to do. After we clean up our organizations, and we can set our aim on something broader, like cleaning up the country or the world at large. So how else do you get a freer world in your lifetime? You need to have vision. A vision for yourself, a vision for the future of your organization, and a vision for the future of the world you want to live in. The vision for the future you want your children to live in. Just like with bravery, you start with yourself first. You can't have vision for the future without vision to see what's happening right in front of you. That's one of the reasons LP National is floundering right now. They're willfully blind to the agenda of whatever you want to call it. Mainstream narrative, wokeism, progressive pandering, whatever you want to call it. The problem is that the National Party has spent so much time chasing after the culture and begging for mainstream acceptance that they have not gone out and pushed their own culture, the culture of freedom and individual rights and sovereignty. And that's what we need to do. So in order for the LP to have vision, it needs to have the ability to see the tyranny that's right around us, the ability to identify people who are eager to receive our message, viable solutions to solving our problems, and to identify little pockets of hope. Vision is like, it's a clear image of how you want to see your future. You need to see what's right in front of you before you can map out your future. Washington is toying with some like insane big brother spy road tax right now. Your homelessness crisis is spiraling to California proportions. And you're looking at a potential capital gains tax? What's going on with that? Your personal liberties are being aggressively encroached upon. So conceptualize your vision for the future and be brave when you work to achieve it. You gotta be brave. Right now, LP National has what I call a low resolution vision of the future. It moves half-heartedly towards it and has no goals to meet along the way. So we need to bring vision to the LP. That means we need to see what's going on politically and culturally in the world, and we need to have hope. I'm not here to bring black pill messaging to you. When I'm throwing bombs, it's to clean out a mess so that we can plant, like our Liberty Garden and watch our values prosper. We need to believe in a better future and actually work towards it and try to speak it into existence. I believe in this vision. I believe in our messaging. I believe the Washington Convention and this party just represents a tipping point in the direction of a bright future and unconstrained libertarian messaging. No pressure. So some last words about bravery. People get bullied because they won't fight back. How do societies lose their freedom? It's one little sin at a time. You go to work, someone's lording their cubicle authority over you. Someone's tyrannical, you don't have the wherewithal to stand up to them. You see someone else being bullied or censored, you don't have the backbone to stand up for them. Government thugs rob you of your income and lock you in your home for a year and you roll over to them. It's like, okay, you're a slave. And if you continue to be a slave, you will generate tyrants all around you. And the only thing that can stop you from behaving that way once you're locked into that pattern is the right kind of terror. So be careful what you give up, because you don't know what kind of terror you're unwittingly unleashing upon yourself. The forces of tyranny expand to occupy any space made available to their existence. People who refuse to defend themselves with their speech are just as vulnerable to exploitation as those who are genuinely unable to stand up for themselves because of disability or some other serious limitation on their physical or intellectual power. So do not disable yourself with inaction. We are not intellectually crippled. We are the best and the brightest, and we have the best philosophy, and we have the best solutions. So let's be the bravest people. Let's be visionaries. That's all I got. Thank you guys so much for having me.
And Joe up, and Joe up, and Joe fucking sleep.
Fucking sleep! Fucking sleep! Fucking sleep!
Anybody in here got $5? Hold it up if you got $5 in your pocket. All right, if you do, give it to the treasurer. Okay. All right. Everybody doing okay? I'm gonna give you about 2 or 3 minutes here to make sure that you get your drink orders in for your next round, all of that. And then we're gonna.
Because it makes your drink better.
Why would you get it?
It says on the program, so I was just copying.
Everybody can see why Los Angeles is in such good shape right now, right? This is what's happening in Washington. We're getting some young blood. You know, we've got a lot more women running this party than we ever had. Have you ever noticed that? My amazing friend Kim Ruff in Arizona, we've just got some fabulous people, yes. Some fabulous people around the party, some amazing women. Jerry Bittner in New York, and just incredible people. And Angela certainly deserves to be on that list, so grateful for that. Okay, all right, well, we got a little bit of time to spare here, so please be sure you don't leave sober.
Can I just say? But you can help fix it for me.
We've been, in fact, I'll tell you what, would you do me a favor? If you haven't hugged Dawn and me yet tonight, hug us before you leave, because we haven't hugged anybody in a year. We need to get caught up, okay? All right? So, yeah, free hug. Human contact. This is wild. Wild, really.
Yes.
Okay. So I know nobody's ever heard of
I was like,
me.
hey, check this out. Look at that.
Peter!
Are you down to Dutch?
Managing editor of the Libertarian Institute.
And it's not an Oregon guy.
That was Beyond the Wall podcast. He released his first book, Freedom Through Memedom, the 31-day guide to waking up to liberty, in November 2017. It reached number 4 in the Libertarian section of Amazon. Number 4 out of 3 books. Sorry about that, Peter. Okay. He has spoken at the Liberty Farm in Manchester, New Hampshire, and has another book in the works. I bet he has more than one book in the works. Because he's an incredible person, an incredible libertarian. Peter!
That's so much bacteria.
Enjoy it while
Hello, Washington.
Awesome.
So what's the first line? The Industrial Revolution and its consequences has been a disaster for the human. Wait a minute. I'm quoting my Uncle Ted there. Probably shouldn't do that. Although I think in this room I could probably start reading from the manifesto and we could discuss it. Everybody would have a really good time. Does anybody mind if I record this? Because I don't think it's being recorded, right?
We got you, but you can record it also.
Oh, right here.
Oh, wow.
It's super high tech.
All right, so does anyone really find it sad that attempting to get libertarians to join the Libertarian Party is such a problem? Why would libertarians not want to be in the Libertarian Party? Because it just seems like the Libertarian Party is completely toothless. They have no power. They don't exercise any power. They don't pretend to have any power. I mean, everything was shut down for how long? There are still parts of the country that are shut down. What does the Libertarian Party have to say about it? We're radicals. We've always been radicals. We don't.
Here! Yeah!
I mean, seriously, people think we're nuts. Lean into it. What is wrong with you people? If you're afraid to be seen as a radical by people who willingly put diapers on their faces and stayed in their homes, these people are scared of you. So embrace that. John Brennan called us insurgents. Lumped us in with everyone that did that thing on January 6th, which was an insurgency in a country of 500 million guns, and not one showed up to the insurgency. I literally have more guns sitting out in my house in Georgia in open view right now than showed up to the insurgency. I just love propaganda. Has anybody read Edward Bernays' book, Propaganda? It is just, you'll find out why you believe what you believe. When you heard John Brennan call you an insurgent, did fear take you, or was it righteous anger?
Laughter.
I was like, cool. When did they call us terrorists? Does anybody know Aaron from Timeline Earth? Anybody a big Aaron fan? He said the LP is not going to have any power in this country, and no one's going to look on it with respect until we are considered to be terrorists.
Nailed it.
Yeah. At the convention in Georgia, when we were passing, which we did, the secession plank to get it put back in, someone stood up and said, we don't want to be associated with those people on January 6th who did all that nasty stuff in Washington, D.C. I saw that stuff in Washington, D.C., and I thought it was a joke. I could have planned that out a little bit better. So if you're on Twitter and you know that most people go back and forth between calling libertarians irrelevant or responsible for all the ills in society. Have you seen this? Oh, you have no power. You're responsible for the economy the way it is. Why is libertarianism attacked as such? Honestly, I don't know, because there are very few libertarians out there who have a message that is radical at all. I mean, and what Angela just delivered was please. I was just pissed that she stole so much of what I was going to say. So, who is libertarianism a threat to? In its form right now, the Libertarian Party, who is it a threat to?
The government.
How?
Yeah.
How?
Only the two.
How? They shut the fucking country down
for, what, a year? And the LP National didn't tweet about it until Dave Smith shamed him into doing it?
Yeah.
If they called us terrorists tomorrow, if they literally said, okay, we believe that these people are terrorists, if they lumped us in with Al Qaeda and ISIS, which they created, would you be scared? What would your reaction be?
I want my crate of AKs.
I want my highlights.
My pallet full of dollars.
On us.
Will those who refuse to get vaccinated and carry a passport be considered the enemy? Are we? I'm not getting vaccinated. I'm not carrying a passport.
Nope.
Are we going to be the enemy?
Already are.
I'm driving from the airport here, and I'm seeing these highway signs. Even if you've been vaccinated, wear your mask.
In your car.
It's unbelievable. As I drive around and as I just look out this window, I'm like, I know why you people live here. I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean, it's amazing. But how the fuck do you put up with this bullshit?
Non-compliance.
We keep looking outside.
Go to the other side of the Cascades. Smoke weed every day.
That helps.
Good beer.
No taxes.
Why do you think this is the home of the IPAs and microbrews?
Very specific.
We just went through the most totalitarian year of my lifetime, distancing, masks, a radical hack of the culture. I don't think people realize that the culture. Okay.
We're censoring you.
Goddamn CIA.
That's right.
Hey, ready? Okay, good. All right, there we go.
Good job, you touched it.
There was a radical hack of the culture that happened, and I called it in probably the first week of April last year. I mean, they basically told people to get scared. Everybody got scared, and the culture changed forever. Masks are going to be here forever. I hate to break that to you. You are going to see people in the stores wearing masks, and they're going to be looking upon you as if you want to kill them. They're not going away because they become clothing. The first time I saw one bedazzled, I understood that. Do you crave acceptance from these people?
No.
The Libertarian Party does. The Libertarian Party National craves acceptance from psychopaths and blood-soaked monsters. That has to change. Who's going to change it?
We are.
Do you think Washington can be changed?
Take a lot of work.
Trying real fucking hard.
Change or destroy.
Parts of it can.
How can the Libertarian Party change anything if there are people in the party, in leadership, who think that Ron Paul is bad for the LP? Anybody ever met the man? Face to face?
Yes.
Been to his house twice. He's the nicest man I've ever met in my life. I mean, he's a country fucking doctor. What are you scared of?
He tells the truth.
We have to get past this obsession that we care about anything that the mainstream cares about. That we care what they think of us. I don't care what these people think of us. I care what you guys think of me. And then that's. At this point, if you are doing things to avoid being called racist, you're wasting your time because everything is racist. Everything you do is racist nowadays.
That's racist.
And yeah, making that claim is racist.
Oh, the irony.
We are not going to convince these people by bowing to their woke religion. You will never win their approval unless you stop believing what you do and wholly bow at their altar. They want your submission or they want you dead.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone.
Unless you abandon libertarian ideology, because that's what they want. And many people in the LP have already done that.
Not here.
And this circles all the way back to the fact that libertarians don't want anything to do with the LP. I speak to libertarians all the time. I speak to people who call themselves anarcho-capitalists. Agorists think we're a joke. And they're the most important people in our movement because when supply lines fail, when they shut everything down, who do we get our supplies from? We get them from the agorists. When the dollar fails, those agorists who created wallets for your phone and cryptocurrency, those are the heroes. They don't want anything to do with the Libertarian Party. They think we're a joke.
Oh, why? Everybody does us like.
Is the Libertarian Party supposed to be a tiny group where a few people get to attain important positions that make them feel special, yet the party remains impotent? Isn't that what the Libertarian Party is right now? A bunch of really, really loud people who are trying to please the left.
They're not even that loud.
If you are not here with the intention of growing the party to spread the message wide and accomplish goals locally, why are you here?
Yeah.
If you feel threatened by huge numbers moving into the party and your impulse is to fight that, you have to ask yourself why. And you have to ask yourself if you're the enemy. Sorry. Who's going to be the next Republican cast-off you want to run for president?
No.
Oh, is it going to be Justin Amash? Is it going to be Justin Amash?
No.
Justin's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
He's a good guy. Not for president of the Libertarian. Not running for president.
Justin's a good guy. Justin's a good guy.
Something else. I don't know what it is, but something else.
The powers that be are not going to accept.
I'll give Justin this much. He moves like water.
The powers that be are not going to accept you unless you become what they are, and that's not libertarian, and we've already seen that enough. I see I struck a nerve. I am very happy. I am very happy.
Stir it up.
So what needs to be done? First, I would say take care of yourself and take care of your family. I mean, that's logical. If you're not doing that, I mean, you just leave. Stop calling yourself libertarian and leave. I mean, it's just, sorry. This is an ideology of individuality. So build what you need to make yourself safe. Understand what I just said. Build what you need to make yourself safe. If that's outside the system, all the better. I love the concept of agorism, but I no longer believe that it's the only way. People have moved out into the woods, and the feds have still gone after them.
Yeah.
But the side hustle is really important at this point. Second, align yourself with like-minded people. John Bush's Freedom Cells is really,
Freedomcells.org. Yeah.
I mean, John he's become a good friend of mine, and I think he just had a great idea, and I'm part of a Freedom Cell, so, mutual aid societies too, that's what I like to look at it as. Third, and maybe this should have been first, and this is really serious, guys. I mean, this is really serious. You really have to take fight or flight seriously, okay? You have to decide whether you want to fight or whether you should leave and go find someplace else.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I would not, if somebody wants to leave the country and go find someplace, I'm not mad at you. If they're calling us insurgents, if they're calling people who went and took selfies in the Capitol insurgents, things are only going to get worse. And you have to figure out whether you want to fight or not. And if you don't want to fight, fly, leave. There are places out there you can go to escape all this. But that is one of the most important things I want to say tonight, because those who decide to stay and fight, if we do it the right way, they may try and take some of us out.
Not me, Will.
Yeah.
Being dead serious.
Yeah.
So those of us who decide we want to grab a microphone and act important, we're.
God is there.
Fourth, you have to jettison fear. The world's scary. You're being labeled. You may very well be called out by the state as a threat or worse. What will you do? Hold on to your principles or bow down. That's something to think about at this point. Like I said, you may want to just leave. I wouldn't make fun of you. As a matter of fact, I'd probably help you back. Not because I want to get rid of you, but I understand. For those who want to stay, you have to live. You have to live your life. Do what you enjoy. If you can't where you are now, do what you enjoy. Move somewhere where you can. The best way to defeat an enemy that wants to see you suffer is to succeed and be happy. Joy is something that the people who rule over us don't have.
Yeah.
Maybe they hate us because we do have joy.
Yes.
Make them hate you more.
Yes. Woo!
Joy. Live your life, be happy, be prosperous, and be free. Thank you.
Okay, couple of things we're gonna get done before, we have a very special surprise speaker coming up in just a minute. It's such a surprise that we don't even know who it's going to be yet, but we're going to have a surprise speaker. But before we do that, folks, your attention please to another opportunity to support your party.
Thank you, everybody. Are y'all having fun? Sorry if I'm a little loud. We have some special auction items. We gotta pay the bills. You know the drill. This is actually painted by a renowned, famous blind artist. She couldn't be here tonight because she doesn't drive at night, but it's It's where the $50, so the first person $50. 50. 60. We have 70. 75. Do we have 80? 80. Do we have 85? 85. 100. Do we have 105? 110. Do we have 110? 110? We have 110. Going once, going twice, sold! Make sure you pay the lady. We have a couple more items. We have a blue backpack. If you like the gray one, we have a blue one. $20. $20. Anybody got $20? $20 over there. We have 25. We have 25. Going once. Go. No, you already bid. 25. Going once, going twice. Sold Whitney. Okay. We have, who likes wrestling? Who knows the wrestler Mankind? Did you know that, well, he's not a libertarian, but he does support free speech. We have an autographed picture with Mankind's signature. $20. Mankind, wrestler Mankind, also known as Cactus Jack, also, I think he was somebody else. Hold it up. $20. We have $20 for Mankind's signature. Mankind and wrestling. $20 over here. Are you guys together or separate? You got 25. Do we have 30? $30. We have $30. Going once, going twice, sold. All right. Who here likes Kraken? The hockey team, right here. We have an official Kraken hat for sale. $20. 25? 25. We have $30 for the Kraken hat. $30. It's a hockey team. $30. We have 35 for Kraken. Seattle Kraken. We have 35. Going once, going twice, sold. Yeah. Who here likes the Sonics? The Seattle Supersonics. Not the Thunder, the Sonics. We're going to do something special. We're going to give you both hats. They're both collector's items. These are old school logos, both. They will be coming back in 2025. You can have a bid starting at $40. They're adjustable. They will fit your head. $40 for the Sonic hats. We have a bid for $40. All right. $40 right over here. Do we have a bid for 45? We have a bid for 45. This is for the Seattle Sonics. Going once. Going twice. Anybody else? These are really nice hats. Sold to the man over there. $40. Who here likes Deadpool? I know, we got some random stuff here. Sarcastic superhero. We have 2 Deadpool hats that we're auctioning off. We have a bid for $30 for Deadpool. Right over here. Do we have a bid for 35? We have a bid for 35. This is for Deadpool. Show everybody these hats. These are really cool hats. 35. We have a bid for 35. Going once, going twice, sold the mile. And then
Did Andrew order the cash out?
2 more items, and we're done. We have an autograph. Jordan McMillan, this is from Spike. And we have an autograph with Judge Jim Gray. Starting bid, $20. We have $20. Your autographed posters. This is an event that Jim Gray did a few years ago in Tri-Cities. This is when Spike was here in town. We have $20 for autographed Judge Jim Gray, Spike Cohen. Nope. Anybody, $20, $20. 15, come on guys, this is for Spike. This is for Spike. Any takers? Nope. We'll come back to that. Last but not least, sorry. This is a marijuana prize pack. It's got a whole bunch of rolling paper, lighters, just everything. There's a lot of stuff in here. And you even got a special container to put your pot in. I don't know what all this is, I don't smoke it. What's that? There's no weed in here, no, we're not selling cannabis. Just necessities. Do we have a bid for $20? Oh, asking for a friend. Bid $20? $20? So bid $20 right over here, bid 25, 25, 25. 25, 25, 25. Anybody? All right, sold to the person, raise your hand right over here. 20, is it 25? Yeah, it's 25. Make sure you pay Casey or Connor right over here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for supporting your party, thank you. I lost track, but we raised like 250, 300, something, I don't know. Really good, really good. So is anybody still sober? You're way behind. Oh, my wife is sober. I'm not getting lucky tonight after all. Oh well. Okay. Hey, listen. You know, I was thinking after Peter's talk, I might form the Washington chapter of Terrorists for a March. How's that? Okay. So where did Anthony go? I was looking for. Is he around here, Anthony? Are you in the room? Am I just looking past him? Anthony. 5 minutes? So I've got to sing or something? Okay. This is a real good time to make sure that you have well tipped your staff tonight. Applause is good. Money is even better. So tip your staff. And, you know, speaker to be named, so you get to be it. So tell us one anecdote from the bus with Spike that you're not allowed to tell, and then just let folks know what to expect.
I literally would watch Spike put out the most brilliant tweets while he was falling asleep at 3 a.m. on the bus and responding to people and wishing him happy fucking birthday, because that's the kind of guy that Spike Cohen was on the campaign trail. Was he still was throwing shout outs to his guys and his friends on their birthday and stuff. But yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, so tomorrow, yes, we'll talk tomorrow. Convention here, what, 8 a.m.? Come back here before 8 tomorrow to get credentialed. That'll make the day go faster. The faster we get it done, the sooner we can really start drinking. We will have coffee and donuts and stuff. Yes, yes. Scott Horton will be coming back tomorrow. So, like I said, you guys are all invited. We'll be shooting for about noon, probably noon or 1 o'clock for that. So, I think we're going to be upstairs. We'll be upstairs tomorrow, so he'll give a little, speech here at VIP sessions out here and that kind of stuff. But we'll keep working that out. This is your passport. This is your passport. But it's a voluntary passport. You didn't have to do it. Yes, so keep it all weekend. You got stickers that
The sticker means you can vote, that identifies who you are, so make sure you wear it at all times. She'll give it to you tomorrow morning, yes, when you check it. Okay, she's done. I'm done.
Okay, well, thanks to Dan, Angela, Peter, thanks to all of you, thanks to everyone who watched something at the auction. We'll see you tomorrow morning bright and early. If you don't love me, love my wife, give us a hug on the way out, because we need human contact. We love you all, and we will see you in the morning.